Okay, so if you could just tell us your name and whereabouts in Southwark you live or lived.
My name is Theresa Ellis.
Okay, what brought you to Southwark?
Because we just wanted to move out. We was living in Ladbroke Grove and we wanted to move out from Ladbroke Grove.
Okay.
So we put in for housing.
Yeah.
And they said we would have to come out, so we...
Yeah. Can you remember around about what year you moved to Southwark?
I just...
No?
I just don't remember. I keep thinking, but I don't. You have to ask my husband.
That's all right. That's all right. What sorts of things did you do when you moved to Southwark? Were you working?
I was working, yes. And I was working, and when I came to England to my husband, I started to work. And I started to work at Baker Street.
Mm-hmm.
And then I stayed there for a good while.
What were you doing in Baker Street?
I do canteen.
Canteen?
Yes, I work in the canteen. Do cooking.
Yeah.
And then I moved away and went to St. George's Hospital.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And what were you doing there?
I did domestic there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you
I
enjoy
could
that?
do anything that
Yeah.
I never say, oh, I don't want this and I don't want anything, because we had two children to feed.
Yeah.
So whatever I put my hand on, whatever I could get to do, so that I could send money to my sister for my children.
Yeah. So your children, where did you come from?
Barbados.
Barbados. So your children were still there at the time?
Yes, and both of them passed away. Then we moved from Ladbroke Grove up to Peckham, up to Sumner Road, and then we moved over to Linnell Road. So we tried.
Sorry to hear that.
But there's not a lot that I don't like to speak too much about, because some was smooth and some was not very. So I don't like to.
I understand. I understand. You share what you want to share.
Yeah, so. But thank God at the moment, things are not too rough.
Yeah.
You don't get everything smooth, but still give God thanks for whatever.
Yeah, sure. Sure. Are you happy to talk some more?
Well, if there's anything that you ask me that I can, I will give you an answer.
So you said that you brought along a picture of your wedding. So it sounds like that picture is something that maybe you remember as a happy time?
Well, yes, it was.
Where were you married?
In London, anyway.
Yeah.
But it was in, I can't remember the name of St. Mark's Road in, can't remember. Down Ladbroke Grove, anyway.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes, but our wedding was okay.
Had a good wedding day?
Yeah, we had my brothers.
Yeah.
I had some, my family was there as well.
Lovely.
Yes, so it wasn't anything for me to complain about.
No. Okay. And so you lived in Ladbroke Grove first, or in,
Yes, I lived in Ladbroke Grove first.
Yeah. And what was Ladbroke Grove like? What was it? Can you compare that to Southwark?
If I could compare
Can't compare it to Southwark.
to Southern, well, I don't go out a lot in Southern, so
Okay.
yeah, I don't go out a lot in Southern.
So when
When I was in Ladbroke Grove, I used to be always working, and then I had my two brothers was there. It was just like a family, and we all would get together.
Yeah.
Especially when it's a occasion, what you call it, holiday time. You know, we would all get together as a family.
Yeah.
And make it what we could.
So Ladbroke Grove there around that time. What year was that? Were you there? What year were you in Ladbroke Grove roughly?
60 something.
Was Carnival going on then?
Well, I know there's a new when the carnival first started.
Yes.
I never used to go out to the carnival.
Okay. Why is that?
Because I was working, and then when you're not working, you know, and you think of things, you just stay indoors.
Okay.
You know, it was a very busy time.
Yeah, difficult time as well with everything that was going on.
Yeah, so I never used to go out a lot.
Right.
You
Okay.
know, as I said, I had two brothers and more family around, so we all would get together.
That was your social time. Yeah.
We would get together and have our time. So.
Yeah. And what did you do? Just like food, a little drink,
Yes,
a little
and
music?
we could play, where we was living, we could play our music.
And what was your music? What did you like listening to?
Anything that comes on. They had their record, our Belgian, what I call it? Can't remember the name for it. So we used to make it a happy time together.
Yeah.
My brother had his children.
Yes.
One brother, that's his wife, and me and my two children. We all would get together. And our cousins. Sometimes we would go up to Harlesden to our cousin and have a time. When it is Christmas, any holiday time, we change over, go to each other place. And
Yes. That sounds like fun time. Was it?
yes, we would get together. And my cousin wife, she would always expect us. So we would go up there and make it a happy time, a Belgian time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was never anything forever but God. I cannot tell you a lot about Southern. As I said, I don't go out. The only place I go mostly is the church.
Yeah. Which church is that?
In Camberwell, St. Giles.
St. Giles. That's your church. You love to go there.
Yes.
What do you love about it?
Well, you go, you listen.
Yeah.
Sometimes they have, what you call it? Well, anyway, it's a close-knit church. Everybody, there's nobody standing shy off. Everybody make you welcome, feel welcome.
Yeah.
Remember when I first went there? I was all, everybody, you go in and reach out the door, everybody feel welcome. So.
Yeah. And I think for a lot of Caribbean communities that's really important, because certainly when my dad was telling me about the time in Trinidad, it's, you know, everybody went to on Sunday to church. You know, you dressed up in your best and you went to church. And you were always greeted. And there's something about having that familiarity when you go into the church. Something that's familiar to you, particularly familiar from back home as well.
Yeah.
That this is how things are done.
Yeah.
And then you feel a sense of belonging.
Yeah. I know at the ending of the service, my priest always say, if there's anyone new, you must come up to the altar and introduce yourself. I remember my granddaughter, she had a little girl and she wanted me to see it. And she bring it up before it was christened. And I asked my priest if he could christen it. And he said yes. And my granddaughter, baby, christened before it go back down to Barbados. So it's always, make you always feel welcome.
Yeah. Real connection.
Yeah. It's nothing more that you could do. That is Southern.
Yeah. Thank
But
you.